Hello everybody and welcome to yet another video. Welcome to tonight's topic, or today's topic as you could see it. And today we're going to be talking about Star Citizen and some of the player-sized ships, like for example the Idris, a capital ship that requires like 80 plus people to run properly. Now the reason I want to mention these big capital ships is because that currently the servers can only handle like 50 people. Object container streaming, you might be able to handle a lot more players in one server because you'll be splitting up the loading stuff for every client, and the server will itself, have different zones of where it has to load certain scenarios, shit like that. But one thing that's always, caught my attention a little bit is like if you have 83, let's say you have 85 players on an Idris playing the game and making the ship run, how in the goddamn world will you get to know all of those players? No way you're gonna be able to get to know all of them. I mean, if you can, then holy damn, you're really good. But I think the realistic scenario is that maybe you're around more like 40 people and you have the rest as AI that literally fills the jobs in between, so you don't feel like you have to have a list of names when you go for like, oh hey, Melissa, Jeanette, Jonas, Bob, Bobby Lee James, and all those nice people in engineering. Well done on keeping the ship running. I'm also a bit curious about like the AI to player ratio, because I think that they've said that there's gonna be a certain amount of AI per player. I don't remember the number right now. So speaking of AI to players, then if you think that a server can handle, let's say 100 people, if you met an Idris that has 80 people on it, you can't actually fight it because, well, you couldn't really meet it either, because apparently, when the Star Citizen is finished, it's gonna have melting servers, so when you fly somewhere, you're gonna be changing servers without even knowing, and then when you meet friends, they're gonna be joining your server, stuff like that. Unless they make a single shard server, which is probably gonna be really hard to make, but there's another game that's called Dual Universe. They're making a single shard universe where every player is in the same server, they see the same things, the same planets, the same ships, everything. Now, as far as I know about Star Citizen is not going to be single shard server, it's going to be multiple servers merging and, melting together as you fly around and play the game. Now, the thing that is making me curious about this is because that might make it so that if you're encountering, let's say you're flying an Idris and you're about to encounter another Idris, you might not actually meet it, at least at the current player levels. My hope for Star Citizen would be that the player count per server, like, the big servers, would be very high. I'd say at least a minimum of 1,000. I mean, 1,000 sounds like a lot, but imagine when you think to those EVE battles you've probably seen on YouTube, like those massive battles. Those battles would be impossible in Star Citizen with 100 players. You need a lot more than 100 players to have that kind of a big battle. And also in EVE, instead of having people manning stations in a capital ship, it's more like, as a player per capital ship controlling a capital ship or a fighter or something like that. In Star Citizen, it's players, it's basically more detailed. It's like, instead of just being a ship with guns and you controlling the ship with guns, you're inside of the ship, you're either flying the ship, you're either in the engine block, or you're in the rear of the ship, or you're healing somebody in the medical bay. It's so much going on, and it's pretty damn cool. But one thing that does make me a bit worried is the player count. I do think they'll be increasing that player count shortly, hopefully, and also by the end of the year, I do think we'll see maybe a little hint of how capital ship stuff can be working. Also, it's going to be interesting to see when they do add a big ship like a capital ship, how you could fly it, or if you actually need people in the engineering bay to actually fly. Because I've heard that in the future they want it to be realistic, so you need everybody to operate almost like a well-oiled machine for the thing to fly. I think that's a cool it's a cool idea, but I also hope that in the beginning you can just sit down in the pilot seat and take off. Anyways, please put your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, join the Discord, subscribe with notifications turned on, and share the channel with everybody that you have seen today. Anyways, I'm Turtle, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.